Hello and welcome back to Spanish Animation. I am your host, Dennis Betholkis, and this is Future Man, Season 2, Episode 12, The Brain Job. Yes, The Brain Job. Yeah, it was actually, I forgot how good this episode was. Uh, it's deceptively simple, but at the same time, this is actually there's a lot of stuff going on in this episode. That's all I'm going to say. So before I get started here, and let me see if I can actually swing this through, not take out anything on, down here. Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the crap out of this episode. If you haven't seen the episode, go and see it. Sign up for a free Hulu 30-day trial, and you can watch both seasons, Season 1 and Season 2, if you haven't seen this yet. And thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. There we go. And Viking Bitch is here. Yay. And I think I even have the spoiler alert, the old spoiler alert sign right there. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I put a few things around here. You can see there's a Hank Buck over here. There's the Necronomicron, the tiny Necronomicron right there. That's Jor-El, a Lego Jor-El. There's all kinds of little stuff hiding around here. See if you can spot what that is right there. Probably not, but that's all I'm going to say. Yes, there is a mic stand in my face, Mufinobi. But it could be worse. I could have nut face going on, but I don't. You know what that's like, right, Mufinobi? Nut face. All right, let's get started here. So we open up with where we left off, where the robots were attacking the Nag and all the people. Basically, they were attacking everybody. They were attacking the Nag, they were attacking the Mars, all that stuff, killing everybody in sight. And we see Wolf coming to. He's very hazily seeing someone standing over him. It looks like an angel in flowing robes, and it's actually Tiger in her Mars outfit. And she's saving him, basically, and pulls him down into down to the pointed circle bunker. Her, Tiger, her, Wolf, and Josh go down into the bunker, and we have, stuff falling down from the ceiling. We hear all the shooting and screaming and things like that going on. Of course, I throw shade. Viking Bitches, in your first rodeo, you know how I roll. And they're hearing all the screams of the people that are going on for the Nag dying up there. And Wolf blames himself because he should have tried harder, is what he thought. And then, basically they're kind of over it at this point. They're Achilles, aka Tyann, says, that's it, it's over with. Might as well just pull out the suicide devices and have at it, because otherwise, we've lost essentially at this point. So Josh is like, no, hell no, I'm not getting ready to give this stuff in. And they all start just kind of lamenting stuff, like Achilles regrets the voice that she, was using for 30 some odd years or 20 years. And Wolf was, wishing he'd spent less time in the shop and more time with Lugnut. And then, of course, Tiger regrets a lot of things, but basically giving Stu a brain job. And that's when Achilles goes, oh, what? Wait a minute. You've actually been to where his brain is? Can you take us to it? And she's like, yeah, but it's really heavily defended. And they said, well, all we need to do, and Josh is like, well, I can just climb back in the chair and basically upload myself. She said, no, he's patched himself. You're immune now. He's immune to you now. And Achilles agrees and says, well, basically we had a 70% chance of that working. You were basically the backup plan in case things didn't go right. And even then, it wasn't too sure whether or not he was going to do it. So Tiger pulls out the cameronium that she has. She goes, well, we can blow up the mountain here. I've got enough cameronium to blow up that mountain. She goes, Wolf, you feel up to building up a dirty bomb? And he's like, no. So, and that's when Achilles reveals that she still has the TTD device. And Tiger's like, no, wait a minute. I saw that thing blow up. And they're like, nope, it was a prototype based on this one, on yours. She goes, you think we'd actually try that stuff out on the real device? No. We had a prototype involved. And the other one was a reproduction. So Achilles' plan is to jump back to when Stu shut himself down, to patch himself, and he was down for 11 seconds, and basically go in then and try and get in. They're like, "Well, wait a minute, that's a long distance. There's no way they can cover that in 11 seconds." And then Josh has the idea. He goes, "Well, wait a minute, we have a time travel device. We run for 11 seconds, then we jump. We run and jump." So basically, he says we can't move from place to place. Wherever we're at is where we're going to be when we time travel. So we run for 11 seconds, jump, and then he goes, "But remember, time Back to the Future 2 rules apply. There's going to be multiple us's there." So this gets a little crazy now at this point. He actually breaks out the pen and the chalkboard, if you will. Well, basically the pen and glass, and is showing them what he's doing and what's going to happen. And Wolf's like, "You know what? I love this idea. It's great." And he grabs TTD device and takes off. They're like, "Oh shit, what the hell happens?" Well, he actually went back, grabbed the cluster, took them back to 1993 to where Blaze is getting inside the Bronco, OJ's Bronco. And he tells Blaze, he goes, "I need you to do something for me." He goes, "You're going to take these people, you're going to infiltrate Utah, where polygamy is legal. You're going to marry into this cluster, and you're going to raise this little girl like she's your own. Her name's Lugnet." And Blaze is like, "All right, sure. Who's little tugboat?" Oh man, Blaze. He needs his own series, really. um, and of course, Wolf comes back to the bunker, and he said, "I had to secure the cluster first, and also I had to hit a couple of milestones along the way." And Josh says, "Well, you have a time machine. Why are you 10 minutes late?" And he goes, "Oh, sorry, I'm still on island time. I just walked Lugnut down the aisle. It was a destination wedding." And yeah, and I love, because he took them back to 1993 is where he took them back to. And then, of course, Lugnut grew up, found somebody, got married. And I love, he says, "One guess who I booked to play the reception? No one's the least bit interested in who I booked. Fine, you don't get to know then," is what he says. So they start finalizing the plans about what's going to happen here, and how they're going to jump things and all this kind of stuff. And Tyann decides that she's not going to go with them. She goes, "I'm going to stay here and meet the fate as the rest of my crew have." That's what Terry goes, "Damn it, you really are the best version of me." And of course, Tyann says, "I know." They say this both in Spanish, of course. So yeah, it is a creative idea, but it is really fucked up, and we'll get to that in a little bit here. Um, and I love how just as they're getting ready to leave, Wolf says, "It was Hoobastank." So that was the band that he got to play Lugnut's wedding, was Hoobastank. And I'm like, I can't see. I don't know. I can't see Wolf as a Hoobastank, but then again, he loved Corey. Corey Wolf. So, or Corey Hart. Excuse me. Corey Wolfhart is what I was going with there. But he loves Corey Hart, so obviously he doesn't have the greatest taste in music. So I'm glad that kind of carried over with Hoobastank. And I love how Achilles also told them that you're going to have to convince the other me, to go along with this, because the one from 3 hours ago. But she's quick, if you explain it to her, she'll catch on. So they jump into the bunker, and of course Achilles is there, and it says 25 seconds later, "I got it. Let's go." Yeah. It's really damn funny at that point that she knows how to do that fast. So Josh follows himself into the Mars, of course, and we find out that the two guards that were outside of the Mars that waved him in are actually Tiger and Wolf. And what they have done is they performed what was called Otter's Mousetrap. And I don't know what Otter's Mousetrap involves really, but we see the two guards. It was a woman and a man. Tiger and Wolf had tied them up and left them in 1954 with a note pinned to their chest, telling them not to accept cheese from strangers. So that had something to do with Otter's Mousetrap. And then taking their clothes or taking their uniforms, which I thought was pretty damn funny. So Josh sees his younger self, his 3 hour younger self, with the nut face going on. His face is all swelled up, and he's like, "Don't worry, he can't see me. That eye's swollen shut. He can't see anything." So we see Nutface Josh. Achilles is talking to both of them, by the way. So she is talking to Nutface Josh, which is what they're calling him, and Josh, future Josh, I guess you could say, and she mixes up the channels at one point and calls him Nutface Josh, which I thought was pretty damn funny because his face had swollen up with the nut that he had eaten. Oh my God, the show. I mean, I swear there's just so much stuff that goes on in this thing. And of course, Nutface Josh looks over and sees the python that future Josh is packing. He goes, "Wait a minute. I know that bulge. That bulge looks familiar." And so, of course, he goes and follows future Josh backstage there, or underneath the platform that Stu is on. And they are, getting ready to hash it out, while Wolf and Tiger grab, I guess, past Tiger, if you will. This is the Tiger that hasn't been turned yet, who's in her robes, her flowing robes, and they go to talk to her. And basically, Tiger is like, "You're trying to ruin my big day." Past Tiger says this, and future Tiger is like, "It's not your big day, you idiot. You know what? He's trying to kill everybody." And they're at each other's throats just about. And Wolf, I love, kind of puts his hands between them and goes, "Easy, Tigers," which I missed the first time around that I'd seen this episode. Excuse me. But yeah, this time around I caught it and I just started laughing. I was like, "Oh man, I missed that from the first time I saw this." It is icing, exactly. And basically, Wolf talks to Tiger and says, "Hey, I forgive you for being a biotic. I'm forgiving you for acting the way I did when I found out you were a biotic, a dirty, bio job." He's basically just insulting her and apologizing to her at the same time. And then he says, "Is there any way you can find it just to go out there and pretend like you never saw us and just talk to Stu?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure. Why not? I can do that exactly." And we see Tiger, future Tiger, knocks out past Tiger, basically kills her. Brain basically puts a little dart in the back of her head. And she goes, "Yeah, she was rambling on, talking about herself. I do that when I lie. She was going to give us up." So, yeah, she was going to rat her out. In the meantime, Josh is talking to Nutface Josh, and he's trying to psych him up. And because they had a little contest of who was stronger, and of course, neither one of them were strong enough to beat the shit out of each other. And then we have Josh's eloquent speech about soldiering and saying, "Hey, all those guys that got mowed down in Omaha Beach, were they less important than the soldiers that smashed through the Berlin Wall and killed Hitler? No, they weren't. But they had a job to do." And of course, Nutface Josh goes, "Damn it, you're good. All right, you talked me into it. I'll go out there." So Josh sees that they killed past Tiger. He goes into the room with Wolf and Tiger, and he's like, "Anyone see Weekend at Bernie's?" And of course, who has to raise their hand but Wolf? Because Wolf, of course, was trapped in the 90s. And of course, he's seen Weekend at Bernie's. So we have Achilles comes in and puts on the dress and pretends to be Tiger. And she goes up to Stu, because Stu is looking for her at this point and has sent out some biotic soldiers to look for her. And so she goes back up to the dais there with him, and he's talking about that dress was made for your body and what a body it is. And she's like getting ready to throw up in her mouth because, of course, this is her dad that she's talking to in this way. And yeah, he just he's like, "What's wrong? You look like you're about to throw up." And she goes, No, just nerves. That's all. Excitement nerves, kind of thing. Although, other thing I liked about this too is when they're downstairs and she puts on the dress. She goes, "You sure you can pull it off? Can you pass as me?" And she talks in that really high pitched voice. "I don't know. I pulled this off for 20 years. Do you think I can?" And she goes, "All I have to do is lower it a couple octaves lower and have a really dead stare." And she goes, "I don't talk like that, do I?" Is what Tiger says. And the other two are like, "Yep, pretty much dead on. She's got it." which I loved. I mean, it's again, you got to. These are just three actors playing six different characters at this point, and really good. They actually feel like six different characters. You know, it's this is what good TV is, people. That's why you should be watching stuff like this. So, Nutface Josh hasn't shown up at this point, and we see people entering the Mars. And I mean, the body count is rising at this point. And Tyann is getting a little antsy. She's seeing these people go in, and she sees some kids are ready to go in next, and she's about to stop everything. Well, actually, she does stop everything. She tells Stu, "Hey, you think we could stop for a moment?" And he's like, "Oh, sure." He puts it on pause. She goes, "I think we should talk about Tyann. Do you feel really good about leaving her behind?" And he says, "Yeah, I've made my peace with it. I'm good. I've deleted that parenting routine. I don't have any regrets about it." And he goes, "Good talk. Let's keep going." She goes, "No, wait a minute. But you raised her for those 34 years. Don't you have any feelings about that?" And that's what he says. It wasn't until their coupling, as he puts it, that yeah, that Tyann pales in comparison to the real Tiger, and that Tyann was a failed experiment. And just before Tyann is about to open up her mouth because she's pissed and tell him, she goes, "Well, you know who I really," and that's when Nutface Josh makes his way through the line. He goes, "I saved you, I saved you, I saved you. Get behind me, kids," is what he says. And he looks up at Stu, and Stu realizes who he is, because in order to have all this stuff work, we need to have Stu reboot himself for that 11 seconds. He needs to be down so that they can start running. So you've got Tiger, Josh, and Wolf getting ready to run, and they have the TTD device. And I love how Wolf is like, "You know what? We got a time travel device. We can go back to medieval times when it opens up, or just when it was opening up over in Burbank. It'd be a great time. You just go." And yeah, they're like, "No, let's just get ready. Come on." And so the power goes down, and they start running. And Wolf almost forgets the TTD device and grabs it, and they start running. They count to 11, boom. And then we see them wherever they end up, they time travel back 11 seconds and then keep running. And everything is going good until they start hearing themselves right behind them and start seeing themselves right behind them. And so they're having to keep running and jumping 11 seconds. In the meantime, all these other versions start questioning. They're like, "Wait a minute. Well, we're behind now. If the defenses come on, we're dead. Shouldn't we just stay here or go back?" They're like, "Well, what happens if the first group doesn't make it? We should be the backup. We should keep going." And one of the Joshes grabs a time travel device, goes, "Fuck you," and runs off, which I thought was pretty damn funny. That they're having those kind of things. And so they make it into the chamber just as Stu reactivates. And we see Josh's foot, the back of the heel of his foot actually hits the laser pad. And all the defenses activate in the hallway and just start mowing down all the Joshes, Tigers, and Wolves that are in the hallway. Just some really bad stuff going on. And they get to see all of it down the hallway as it's happening. And Stu is perplexed. He goes, "Wait a minute. What are you guys doing in my brain area there?" Basically where his brain is being stored. He goes, Tiger, Juice, and Wolf, what the? And then he looks over at who he thought was Tiger and goes, "Wait a minute, who are you?" And then Tyann says in that voice, "Hi, Dad." And he's really kind of pissed at this point. So Tyann tells Stu the truth about how many times she just really wanted to kill herself, but she kept going on, living with him and all this stuff as one way of one day potentially stopping him. And he says to Tiger, "I thought you liked me." And she goes, "No, Stu, it was a moment of weakness that you preyed upon." He goes, "Well, that was the only way I was going to get you to like me." That's when your defenses were down. It was very creepy at that point. Yes, that was a bad date. Oh man, yeah. So then, just before Josh is going to smash the tank where his what's left of his brain is, and he goes, "Whoa, wait a minute!" And he tries to justify. He goes, I did the math on this. I'm trying to save the human race." And he's basically talking it up and everything. And finally, he just gets pissed off and he goes, "But wait a minute, how in the fuck did you guys beat the odds? How did you shaved apes do that?" And he's just getting into it. And Josh goes, "See ya, Stu," breaks the tank, and they start smashing up his brain pieces. And as they're doing that, he's screaming and turning into pixelations and disappearing. And as he disappears, all the things in his house, also that were holograms, disappear as well. So yeah, so they end up killing him, and they open up the doors. And I love this part was they see all the dead bodies in the hallway there of them, and Tiger makes well, first of all, Josh says, "I thought there was going to be a lot more, huh? That's there's not that many as I thought there were going to be." And Tiger says, "There's a lot more of you though in there." And Wolf, of course, is very silent. And Josh is like, "Oh, what's the matter, Wolf?" He goes, "Not so funny when it's a pile of dead yous, huh?" And Wolf says, "What a waste of talent. That's the only thing he's got going." It's a waste of talent. So just then we see the air kind of ripple behind them, and these two guys in what I can only call steampunk costumes. They have top hats on and all kinds of stuff, and they're carrying. My favorite was they're carrying the watches, the pocket watches that look a lot like the Voyager watches from TV's Voyagers. For those of you 70s kids out there or 80s kids. Yeah. That was, by the way, that was Punky Brewster's brother that played him in Voyager. So yeah. And they say they've have 2 seconds to get down to the ground. That they violated the statute of the Santa Clarita County time code. And they start laughing at these guys, and they hit the button on the side of their little watch there, and this piercing shriek comes out. And of course, they go down their knees, and these guys disappear again. And then we see Josh, Wolf, and Tiger all disappear as well. And that's where we leave off on the episode. Wow. That's all I can say is holy crap. Things just got a lot stranger. And we've got 1 episode left. That's all we've got. 1 episode left of season 2. Movie Finobi says Voyager watches. Interesting. I don't remember those. You don't remember the Voyager watches that they used in order to travel through time? It was John Eric Hexon was the actor, and Mino Pools. I can never pronounce his last name. So they had a watch. It was a gigantic pocket watch, and it had a globe inside of it, so you can actually position where it was. And then the outside dial, you could put whatever time you wanted on it. And that would take you, basically it would beep when there was something wrong with the timeline. And so they would travel back in time and correct whatever the anomaly in time was. They were basically the first version of the Legends of Tomorrow, if you will, only without superpowers. Mork's dreamed of Mia Sara. Who doesn't dream of Mia Sara? Come on. She's still hot. I mean, come on. Have you seen pictures of her lately? Damn. That's all I can say. So, let's see what else we've got going on here. Slurmy Scott says, all those alternate Josh Wolf Tiger people shot down. Now we know it's going to be used in the taco bar. Start shopping, VB. I called Josh's taste of your part. Oh, God. Slurmy just wants some street cock. That's all he wants. I don't even want to know what you guys are talking about in that part. I'm scrolling up and going away from there. Movie Finobi says, although I do have a fond memory of Kroll when the wizard visits the spider lady. He was once in love and she was once beautiful. I have Kroll on DVD right over in this area someplace. One of my favorite movies with the glaive, Yeah, that's some really cool stuff. And you guys are talking about all kinds of other stuff other than the show. So it's not TV, it's fucking Future Man on Hula Hoop. Okay. Yeah, Mufinobi said hopping ahead and making duplicates of themselves is a creative idea, but also fucked up. Exactly, because at this point, it was there's an argument for it beforehand, before all this started, when Nutface Josh was saying that he thought he was J1, the original Josh, until he became a foot soldier, and then of course he has to sacrifice himself in order to save everyone else. So yeah, um, not that great. Let's see what else we got here going on. Mork says, Dennis, cliff notes on today's chat. Queen tames gators. Fanobi lasts. Oh, okay. And there's too much estrogen in this house? Really? Okay. I thought it was kind of balanced out. All right. More than 11 seconds, maybe, Fanobi? That's not what I heard. But anyway, I'm not going to spread any rumors. I only spread facts. Yeah, Viking bitch. Only one more episode. I don't know if next season's going to get more than 13. I think 13 is a good number for them, to tell you the truth. If they go too far with it, I think they kind of overextend themselves. Oh yeah, I know Slurmy likes my microphone. I've heard it many, many times, Morks. Thank you. No. I'm not even going to say that move for Debbie. Viking Bitch says, I'm just greedy and want more of this show. Yeah. I hear you. This show is something really special. Again, this is the way you do sci-fi comedy. If you really want to get it done really well and done right. And the writing, the acting, everything on it is good. It's a half-hour episode that feels like a full hour, quite honestly. And you got a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Runaways just got renewed, speaking of Hulu, for season 3. And their season 3 got whittled down from 13 to 10. So there you go. And there's a reason why that happened. I'm stuck on episode 3, I believe, right now of season 2. And there's a reason why. It's very, very slow. Hey, Ejar. Howdy, y'all. Thank you, Dennis, for the review recap of the episodes. Thank you. No, I love this show, man. It's one of the best shows out there, sci-fi comedy shows out there. And I'm loving this stuff. So let me get through a little bit of business. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button. Or if you don't like what you see, hit the dislike button. I just asked if you hit the dislike button. Go down in the comment section and let me know what you find wrong with the show. Also, if you want to get notified when I'm going to be on next live, you can hit the little bell down below. If you already hit the bell, don't hit it again. It just unclicks it. And you get a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually telling you when I'm going to be on live again. I know Morks sometimes gets it, sometimes not, but it's a 50-50 chance. Yeah, Pen Farm Girl, nothing is as slow as The Passage. The Passage was, good God, that thing was god-awful. I can't go back and watch any of it. I'm actually done with the Orville too. I was watching the Orville out of curiosity, but now I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Same thing with Walking Dead. I know there's stuff going on there, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Some bowel movements are slower than The Passage. No move for Nobia. With that, you just need a little fiber in your diet. So I think you need to, just eat right. That's all. Slurmy Scott says the notifications have been much better lately. All right, cool. Ejar says I haven't been receiving the notifications, but I watch the videos later. Oh, okay. Yeah. If you're still on the fence, you can take a look. There's going to be some videos up here, or a video, I should say. Basically, what this does is YouTube looks at everything that you've watched, and it pulls from my video library the stuff that is going to best fit your taste, and it's going to put it up here. And if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, which will be over in this area, general area, someplace up here. My schedule is up on suspendedfanimation.com, so you can see the schedule up there. It's also on Facebook. I also have a Twitter, which I put out when I'm going on live and all that kind of stuff, the links to that. And I also have an Instagram, which is kind of underused at the moment. So other than that, Mufinobi says, Ejar, try clicking the bell and select all notifications. Oh, okay, there we go. You're not monopolizing the conversation, Ejar. Trust me. It's a welcome change of pace from what we were talking about before. We were talking about how Mufinobi only lasts 11 seconds, and then something about Nutface. I don't remember what the rest of it was. See how those two go together? So with that said, it is payback. Works. See how I do that? I can actually just work that stuff in, and yeah, there we go. Mikey Bitch says, Dennis is sick of us already. He needs new conversations in here. I do. I really do. I did, but the YouTube's been whack. Yeah, YouTube's doing something weird. I think they're in the midst of doing some kind of upgrade or something like that. I know they're changing some stuff out. Google's doing a lot of changes right now. They're changing out Gmail. They're getting rid of a lot of programs, and then they are upgrading YouTube as well. I know they've been trying to push us over into some other new features of YouTube and all that kind of stuff. Not to get technical, but there's been all kinds of weird crap going on. So I'm not surprised. Yeah, I know. That's the other thing. I keep telling Mufinobi that he needs a little fiber in his diet, that the prunes would actually help him as well. He does say that he's a little bit backed up. Mufinobi says, Mark has too many kid video searches. Clear your damn history. That's just so wrong. So wrong. Slurmy Scott says, please, I joined Facebook for you. No Twitter or Instagram. Thank you very much. I have all of them, Slurmy. It's the digital age, you know. I need to be plugged in to all this stuff. And I'm not even on the popular stuff either. So there you go. Pen Farm Girl says it's all about Dennis. Of course it is. No, it's not. It really isn't. It's about Future Man. So tomorrow night, I'm taking the night off, of course. It is a dead night. But Wednesday night is the return of Happy. Happy Season 2, Episode 1 is going to be on. Thursday night, I've got a little surprise for everybody. Since we have a hiatus for Gotham, I am going to do a live review of Shazam. I got to see Shazam on Saturday. And spoilers, but it's really damn good. I'm going to do a spoiler-free review of it. And so that should make everyone happy on that one. Shazam! Friday is Doom Patrol. DC Universe's Doom Patrol. The very excellent Doom Patrol. I have to admit, I was skeptical about that one, and that is clearly becoming the best show on TV that I've watched in a long time. I mean, outside of Counterpart, you know, rest in peace, Counterpart. Doom Patrol is the best thing on TV right now, easily. Saturday, of course, is Saturday Morning Blast Off, or as everyone's calling it now, SBO. And Saturday Morning Blast Off, what I do is I take the genre news of the week, cover that, I go over all of that, and anything else genre you guys want to talk about, any craziness and all that kind of stuff. And of course, Mondays we have Future Man. We have the very last Future Man happening next Monday. So Mufinobi says TK421. I don't know if anyone caught this, those of you who are out there, and I'll mention this when I eventually get to it. But Love, Death, and Robots, the one with the girl out in space, with the spacesuit malfunction and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you know what planet she was over. She was over LV 426. That LV 426 is the planet that Aliens is from. So I was kind of wondering where they were going with that one. I thought they were going in a different direction with that one altogether. But It just all of a sudden hit me when I saw that number TK421. So, okay, moving over. You caught that one too. Good. So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the evening. Remember, take a look at the videos up here. Hit the subscribe button over this way. And thank you, everybody in the chat. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up a little bit depressed by seeing all those dead U's in the hallway. Good night, everybody.